Shut up and sit down.
Everybody, and welcome to Nerdsplaining Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Da Silva. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jose Romero.
What it is, what it was, what it shall be. All the nerds out there.
It is the Week in Geek, my friend.
Week in Geek is...
We're making up for lost time because of schedules and vacations and shit like that.
Trips, but it is Shazam weekend, which we'll get to momentarily.
It's not a Shazam weekend. It's a Black Adam weekend.
Did I say Shazam? You're right. I'm sorry.
You did.
Confusion.
Which is fine because Black Adam is part of the
Shazam.
Shazam
the same universe. So I wasn't too off base, and they do say Shazam.
You're not 100% wrong, but you're not 100% right.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah. But they do say Shazam, and they say Shazam a couple times in the movie, so maybe that's why I had it in my head.
Oh, do they really? Well, spoiler alert, jerk! Come on,
word, dude.
some of
It's
us
not a
haven't
big deal,
seen
dude.
it.
But that being said, whatever, Black Adam, Shazam, tomatoes. It's all
Rotten
good.
Tomatoes. We'll see. We'll get into it.
Tomatoes, movie ketchup, The Rock, which again we'll get to momentarily.
Which, by the way, I will say I watched your review on the Latin Nerd Network of your exclusive non-spoiler review of Black Adam.
Oh,
I
okay.
watched it. I wanted to get your feedback on it just to kind of get an idea of what your initial take on it was.
Yeah, we'll get more into it now, a little more details. And
Absolutely.
We'll avoid spoilers unless, Eric, you want spoilers. We will talk about the end credit because we all know what happens. I'm not going to say it right now.
I mean, it's already
been out there, but we will
get
in detail because it doesn't lead to other stories. Just be forewarned, obviously.
Sure.
I know you know most nerds probably know that already. I'll say it right now and give you a chance to read on it. But before we get to all that stuff, we have a special, announcement or a self-promotional part of the show. Perhaps.
Oh, yes.
Something along those
lines.
Perhaps,
per se,
for lack of a better phrase. So, Eric, I know you got some news here. Some new workings.
Yes. Well, we've talked about several times in the show that we have things we're working on that we want to expose at a show and kind of do, and some of them are show ideas and some of them are project ideas, and this was a project I've been working on, mulling over. You may have talked about it, behind the scenes and that kind of stuff, and it's finally out or getting ready to come out. So I have launched a Kickstarter. Yes. A Kickstarter for a graphic novel for kids 8 to 13. Now, when I say this, it's not primarily a kid's book because I'm me. And as a kid of the 80s and 90s and as a stand-up comic, there's stuff that me and my kids have watched that we really enjoy, like Gravity Falls and Stranger Things, where kids can watch, young kids can watch, but adults get a whole extra level out of it. We get the references. There's some jokes that are very much more over their heads that'll land with the they'll laugh at the initial, the adults will laugh at the after effect. So that's what this book is about. It's called Danger Squad. Now, I didn't know this when I was originally coming up with the idea with the book, but apparently Danger Squad's been taken by 100 million people. There's Danger Squad stuff all over online.
I could imagine that, yeah.
Which there's been DJs and there's been a child safety group thing, and I was like, man, how do I make even Danger Mouse has a Danger Squad? I was like, oh my god, it's such a good name.
It's a good name though.
What do I do? It is. So I for the context of the book, Danger Squad is an acronym. It stands for Dark Anomalies, Nightmarish Ghouls, Exciting Rescues. And the best way I can elevator pitch this book is if you're a kid from the 80s, I would say it's what if the Goonies found the actual X-Files. Or if you're a kid from the 70s and maybe the 90s, I would say, what if Scooby-Doo gang found out all the monsters are real? Or if you're a kid now, or you're very much not in the comic book but the movie what if the Stranger Things kids lived in a Doctor Strange world? Whichever analogy works for you, that's what the book is. And it's about 5 kids who, kind of like the log line of the book goes, is that when 5 misfit middle school kids have to become more than friends, they have to become a Danger Squad. So it's pretty adventurous. I think so. I like it a lot. But yeah, that is the book. So it's if you like monsters, aliens, supernatural, mysteries, action, adventure, spooky, creepy stuff that makes fun of it, but sometimes kind of leans a little hard into it, that is the book. And we're gonna put a link on the YouTube page for the video. So if you want to support to the Kickstarter, I really appreciate it. There's tiers where you can just donate as much as you can, or if you want to invest into one of the tiers, it's all there. I don't want to brag, but the top tier, the Danger Squad tier, will have chapter 1 of the graphic novel produced as a single issue comic book, and it'll be done. There'll be a variant cover done by a friend of the show, Omar San Cristobal, which is a character design director for Pixar. So if you are a Pixar Disney fan and you like stuff like what everything described, from everything from Gravity Falls to Stranger Things, that's a cool tier you can invest in as well. And there will only be 100 of those produced. So if you want to have an exclusive variant cover limited edition, that's the one I would suggest to go for. But you can see all that on the Kickstarter link, which will be attached to this video as well.
And did you pull it yourself into this book as far as characters or anything like that, out of curiosity?
You know what?
Most writers do.
There's 5 characters, and I feel like my personality is split between the 5 characters. Like the main character, Leon Guerrero, he's a chubby Hispanic kid. Yeah, that was totally me on the aesthetic. He loves mysteries and figuring things out. Absolutely, except Leon is way smarter than I am, so I would not be able to survive in this group. That's I mean, yeah. Listen, I'm not. I am self-aware. There's no delusional ego on this. So
if you were the actual main guy in terms of intelligence level, this book would be for like 2 to 4 year olds instead of the.
Oh yeah, it would be a coloring book for people who are colorblind. That's what it'd be. It would be a mess. But like Kevin Liu, he is. He in his mind, he's gonna be the next Quentin Tarantino, even though his dad doesn't let him watch Quentin Tarantino movies, because he's 12 and that'd be irresponsible. But he's like the pop culture. Well, if you're a good parent, you don't want to let a 12-year-old watch Quentin Tarantino. I'm just saying, level it out. Fair enough. But like he's the pop culture guy. He's the guy who knows everything about about what movies and like street lore has to do about a thing. He's the guy who kind of like, well, this is what I heard. Then you have Macy Nightfell. She is a 9-year-old girl who is attending middle school, and being smart is not her biggest power or secret. And you'll figure out what she has to do with all this as the book goes along. You have Lacey Davis, who is basically the kind of girl I wish I would have got to meet when I was 12. She's a badass. She likes to fight and have fun, and she's very loyal to her friends. And then you have Miss Pinkerton, which is the middle school equivalent of Indiana Jones, minus everyone flirting with her. It's just like the badass here of Indiana Jones, but she's trying to protect the kids from a secret that she's hoping that no one will ever find out. And so there's a lot of different elements. A lot of people bring a lot of different things to the table, and there's a lot of riffing on like I said, like tropes that we grew up on. I have a spin on it that makes it kind of fun and different. As you're like, oh, I kind of know what that is, but then when you watch it, like, oh, that's nothing I expected. So it makes it a lot more fun.
Nice. And when do you expect it to drop the first issue officially?
Well, the Kickstarter is going on right now, and it'll keep going until November 14th. We're trying to hit $15,000. It's 6 chapters, graphic novel. So 6 issues done into one big book. Right. My artist is a guy called Saba. He's in Italy. His actual name is Giuseppe. He's amazing. He's like Pixar meets Tim Burton. And if you guys want, you can go to the actual website, dangersquad.com. That's right, Jose. I bought dangersquad.com. So even though this name has been around for a while, I own the website. So now it's me. Okay. I got it. I'm the guy. So you can't do anything else with that. So go to dangersquad.com. We have we have videos. We have character design sheets. Well, Saba's doing some great videos where we actually show you him drawing the page from scratch to fully colored and lettered. He's awesome. And you can also link right in there straight to goes to the Kickstarter. So if you don't know where the Kickstarter link is, go to dangersquad.com. Super easy, spells like it is. And the Kickstarter link is there as well. And you can click in it and it take you right there. And listen, I'm not saying the book is awesome. I'm not saying that the idea is a lot of fun. I'm not even saying there might be a network or some sort of service that is interested in making it a cartoon. What I'm saying is you should get it on the ground floor of this really fun book so you can show it to your kids. You guys can bond over it. Adults would like it on a whole other level. I mean, it's fun for the whole family. And it doesn't get any better than that. And if you know me, I never produce anything like this. I am strictly a foul-mouthed jerk of the highest order. But this is something I made because my kids wanted me to make a bedtime story. And this is what I came up with because I'm insane. So
there's no argument there. But if you want to say it's good, we'll say it's good.
That's great.
Or we'll
I'll
say
take that.
It's bad.
Thank you.
Who knows?
Or bad like in the 90s. Like, yeah, then I'll take that.
You know, I'll take that. Did they still use that word, by the way? I don't know.
I don't know. I hope
think about it. Did we still use it?
That's a bad man.
I don't think we do. No, damn, we're old. Yeesh. But I'll put the.
Well, I didn't say dynamite, so come on. It's not. We're not.
That never. The classics never die, man. Come on, man. J.J. Walker in the house. That's what I'm talking about. For the two people I know who he is. But that being said, so yeah, we look forward to it. Kickstarter, if you join up, I'll put the link below, of course, and Instagram. I'm sure you have the link as well on the Twitter.
Absolutely, it's on the Nerdsplaining. The link is on the Nerdsplaining bio on Instagram and on Twitter. And by the way, look how crazy this title is. Because it's called Danger Squad, when I first started promoting the Kickstarter, Twitter banned us because they thought Danger Squad was promoting abusive behavior. And I had to go, could you just show me what was wrong? And they went, oh, our bad. And then I got reinstated after 20 hours. It's because we're dangerous, man. We're crazy.
That would have happened if Elon Musk went on this show, man. Just saying.
You know, I'll take it. I'd rather work a little harder. All right, that's fine. Let's keep it the way it is, please.
It's all good. I would look forward to that. We'll keep talking about that for the next coming weeks until
absolutely
the 15th. You said deadline, 14th.
Yeah, November 14th. It cuts off November 14th.
Okay, awesome. Hopefully it's as good as our next topic, or probably better, maybe better. And that is, of course,
I hope so.
Little Black Adam action, man. Let's talk some Black Adam.
Boom, boom.
Or Shazam, whatever. Tomatoes. Yeah, you saw the review. Quick thoughts, and I'll get some details in a minute. But yeah, I overall I enjoyed it. It's a fun flick. It's not amazing. It's not gonna change anybody's world. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen. It's very typical superhero. It is, right? But it's a fucking Rock, dude. What am I gonna tell you? Movie ketchup, dude. He's great.
Wait. I gotta ask: is this Rock in like Jumanji fun, or is this Rock and like when he's got one leg and he's running up a crane to jump across a building? Rock, like where does that fall?
He's Black Adam, so he can do whatever he wants. So it's all within the rules of the world that's been set up. So,
but I'm saying, is it the level of fun, like the enjoyment out of it? Is it more Jumanji or is it one-legged crane?
No, it's more Jumanji. More Jumanji. Yeah, ridiculous.
Okay.
And it's funny because the Rock, The Rock is always The Rock in anything he does, for the most part.
Sure,
Let's be
of course.
Honest. Here he's a little more stoic. Yes, he's actually playing a character in the movie, which I like. So he's not out there cracking jokes, and he has some funny moments, but very dry humor. I'll leave it at that with some sarcasm that he uses. It's actually very funny.
He doesn't say stuff like, "Can you smell what the lightning's cooking?"
Nothing like that. He doesn't have some of the cheesy, nothing like that. So it's a little more legitimate character. You can tell he's really invested in the role. He's doing this. I think 2006 they announced this. That's how long ago, 2007.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
Time. It's like it's his passion project. So he was all in on this. He has been for a long time. But listen, it's very entertaining, very well paced, some cool action. There's CGs up and down, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, listen, the script is weak. It is. What can I tell you? The villain is terrible at the end. He's just
really?
He pops up on in the end because you need someone to fight. I get it. It is what you can't fight the JSA the whole time, right? You can't.
Is there like a giant energy beam from the sky situation?
Well, it's a superhero movie, so you're gonna get some of that, of course.
All right.
That trope's always there. It is what it is.
Okay.
The third act, it's fine. It's just the villains. Who gives a shit? It really is. But a lot of movies make that.
How about
they do?
You mentioned in your really good review on the good and the bad of the show or the movie. That the Justice Society of America is in the movie, and so you said it was 4 members they showcased. They showcased Dr. Fate, Hawkman, Tornado, and Adam Smith.
Right, the 4.
So
difficulties. There we go. Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
So my question is, which of those characters you felt really did you really enjoy watching on the screen? Because there's 4 of them, and I know all the attention is going to be on The Rock, but like who kind of like
out of
really worked 4, on screen well?
Really 2 were the ones that were showcased, which is Hawkman, who I really liked. He was really good, and Dr. Fate's awesome. Pierce Brosnan,
yeah,
he's made for this role. He really is, man, and it's really cool how they conceptualize his power. I mean, he's Doctor Strange, right? It's basically what he is. I'm not wrong with that.
Yeah,
he's, DC's version of that, so he's got his magical power. It's very cool, and you can tell he's just having fun with this shit. He really is, man. He's a great character. I like him better than Doctor Strange in terms of just the
really,
yeah, because he's just real laid back. It's funny and I don't know, coming back. I like him a lot, but he's always just kind of a dick. He's a dick. He really.
I mean, it's kind of the fun of his character.
It's kind of fun, but it's a different play on it, right? So he's not trying to copy that version of it at all. It goes the other way, which I really enjoy. He's really good, man. I thought he was the best out of those characters. Hawkman second, and then the other 2 were like, yeah, they were there. They had moments, but they were there. And I think a little problem with them was just had so much in here, dude. It was a little bit overstuffed.
Gotcha.
Of all these characters, you can only give so much time. You know what I'm saying? You really can't, because it is the Rock show.
Now, you did say, being the Rock show, there's the aesthetic wise, it is something I've heard from a lot of different views online. There's the Zack Snyder slow-mo.
Yes, this guy, an astute viewer of Zack Snyder films, because it's like this guy watched 300 day before he started making his movie. Because I'm like, okay, I'm looking, I'm like, wait, is this Zack Snyder for some? Did he direct it or some shit? It is a lot of slow-mo. I mean, a lot. Too much.
Okay.
Some of it works, some of it, but at the end you're like, okay, dude, I get it. I do. And it was a little unnecessary. It probably had more slow-mo than Zack Snyder does in his films.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
And that says a lot. I mean,
that's
it's not,
statement.
It didn't ruin anything for me, to be honest with you. I live with it, but some people might find that annoying as fuck. I get it. I really do. But he's a little too much slow-mo. But that being said, the sequences are really cool. Really, some really cool shots in here. Good at the pacing, dude. It's like, and you're right. When you talk about the trailer, right? And it's funny because the trailer, it seems like they're showing us the same scenes, right? And because the movie really takes place in that one city or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called.
Klondike.
There you go. Yes, it just takes place all there. And I was okay, yeah. And they didn't show us the third act, which we talked about. Maybe a glimpse of the villain, like out the horns, whatever. We saw that in the trailer. But that's basically all we get out of the third act in the trailer. So that's kind of good. There is one major surprise. I was like, ooh. I won't say exactly specifically, but there's something that happens to one of the characters which really surprised me. And I'm surprised they went that route. I liked it, but I was like, damn, okay.
All right. Well, don't spoil on that.
I'll
keep that as a secret.
I'll leave it at that, but there's something that happens like, okay, I like that. I added some weight and stakes to everything, so I enjoyed that. It's a fun movie, dude. It's a fun movie. It is what it is, right? If you're expecting anything great, look somewhere else. It's just it's a superhero film.
So is it fun closer to Shang-Chi or like fun closer to Thor: Love and Thunder?
More Shang-Chi. I like this better than I think I mentioned yesterday. Okay. I like this better than Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange. It's just
okay.
And I think a part of it is maybe because the expectations in the other 2 were so high, it didn't meet them, right? So you kind of bummed out. It brings the whole experience down. It really does. Here, my expectations were not high, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Well,
right.
I'm going to take my kids to go see it this weekend. So when we talk next weekend, we will compare reviews, and I'll let you know what I thought.
It's fun. It's cool. Entertaining.
And before we move on to your next topic, let's talk whichever degree you feel comfortable talking about the after credits.
We all the spoil. If you don't know what the after credits scene is, skip ahead like 10 minutes because let's talk about it. Because I know Eric, we all know, right? And the Rock came out and said it, for Christ's sake. It was leaked by some reporter. It's all over the place. Because we're gonna talk about, because that was actually one of the rumors was something we were gonna talk about. We couldn't do a show last week. But yes, so the end credits, and we all know. Here we go. You've been warned, of course, and that is
motherfucking.
if you don't know, now you know. Yes, of course, Henry Cavill, Superman shows up in all his glory in the mid credit scene. There's no after credit scene; it's a mid credit scene.
Okay.
Short scene, but it was really cool to see him. He had a little kind of curl on his head, like
nice.
And the suit was a little more lively, like we saw in the Justice League.
Nice.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the line because everyone's like, "Oh my god!" He said like one line I couldn't understand what he said. I'm like, "God damn it!" I'm watching it again with my girlfriend and stepdaughter tomorrow. So I'm like, "Hey, shut the fuck up so I can hear what he said." Because I couldn't quite make out what he said. Because he was going.
He said Martha.
He said, "Why you say that name?" The crowd was nuts, but it was going crazy, and so I couldn't hear. But it was cool to see it because obviously, how long they've been rumored him to be in this film, right? And it's funny because part of the story was that when the film was originally being made, WB at the time before it was bought out didn't want any part of Henry Cavill, right? And
that's what I heard.
Yeah, Johnson was requesting it. It wasn't happening. I'll be crazy. He was demanding it, right? And then finally the new regime took over, and I guess there were discussions. He kept demanding it until he got his way. Good for him. Because they actually, Zaslav actually likes Henry Cavill. He won, and he's talking about making Superman forever since he started. So he got him in the film, and obviously which leads to the fact that he's in there, which is not just him there. It's a big deal. The fact that we're going to see him more because this talks about the Man of Steel 2 in development already with Henry Cavill,
right.
which I think personally is great news. I love Henry Cavill.
Absolutely,
Superman. I love it. He's a great Superman.
Absolutely.
I really like Man of Steel. This is the one film that deserved a sequel, which we never got, right? To give us that proper Superman, which was kind of being built up from the first movie.
And I'm excited because I want a Superman movie that has nothing to do with Lex Luthor. Give me Bizarro, give me Brainiac, give me Parasite, give me Mongol, give me something that's not Lex Luthor anymore.
I don't think we're in Lex Luthor. I hope not.
Or General Zod. It's usually Zod or Luthor.
No, well, Zod's dead. Because I assume they're going to make continuation
right, exactly.
of what you've seen,
so
right? So, so
give us something
else.
Extra.
There's got to be someone who can, physically match up with... And it's hard to make a Superman movie because, who do you fight? So you have to get someone cosmic or whatever.
Bizarro, Brainiac,
exactly.
A Mongol. Like, those are three right there. Right at the jump.
Yeah, it's plenty. And I don't want to see a Shazam. I know because even there's a lot of joking with this, and it's not a spoiler, but one of the kids in the movie, his room's got posters of Superman and Batman, all the DC characters and stuff, and The Rock ends up getting a fight in there, and they keep punching a hole through the face of Superman. So you don't really see it, but he punches through it, and he knocks down Batman. So it's kind of joking around, which is kind of funny, right? It's very meta. But yeah, listen, I don't want to see Superman versus Shazam, right? I mean Shazam, Black Adam. I keep saying Shazam.
Not right now. Save that for Black Adam too.
But I would love the way the movie's set up. It's hard to explain. I'm not seeing it, but I would love to see, man, like them two together, going up against somebody would be fucking awesome, right? You have because he has obviously the ideology that The Rock has, but he doesn't care, right? Well, he cares, but he whatever means necessary, right? And that's a big point. I thought one of the good things the movie did was it really harped on that, right? And the people. This thing about these people, how they saw him versus how the JSA saw him, right? Where the people actually didn't care because he was there defending them when these guys never showed up when they needed somebody.
Right.
He came. Who cares? He's taking care of business. So there's that ideology that there. I'd like to see that kind of play out for Superman them together. That could be really fun, dude. That could be really fun. Not gives us Man of Steel 2 first. And let's get into that later. That's not Batman v Superman. This shit. I really hope they don't go that route. I really don't slow it down.
Yourself.
Pace. There's time for that, right? Man of Steel 2, maybe a Black Adam 2, maybe Black Adam Shazam together. That makes perfect sense as well.
That'd be cool too. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then let's worry about that down the road. But and real quick, man, I forgot to mention. I mentioned the review, but it's fucking brutal, dude. Black Adam, dude.
Oh really?
He don't fuck around. I mean, he's like killing guys, and his arms being torn off and explode. Dude, I'm like, damn, okay. I did not expect that, to be honest with you. I was like,
so
nice.
That they up the violence level in a way that you haven't seen in a DC or superhero movie in a minute.
Yeah, like anybody, even Marvel doesn't go that route, right? No, who does? But at least, well, we know unless it's something like The Boys, but that's not really DC or Marvel.
Right.
But it's not The Boys level of violence, clearly, but it's there. And like, wow, okay, very cool. I love that. I love often that. You see in the first 10 minutes, first 50, 20 minutes, you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? He's an anti-hero. He's black. That's what he does, right? And I like that. Yeah. They didn't venom him.
Right.
Boy, it's an anti-hero. He's kind of neutered. Morbius.
Right.
I'm not going to mention that nonsense. But so that was really cool, but I forgot to mention it. But yeah, so listen, I'm all for it. Look, Man of Steel 2, finally, thank God.
Okay.
Making the right choices. We've been begging for a Superman. We're not going to get that J.J. Abrams nonsense we discussed months ago, whenever it was. This is the way it should have been from the get-go. So I'm glad cooler heads are prevailing here.
No more Zaslav. No. Man of Steel 2, front and center. Yeah, keep doing
it. So yeah, but I guess fun flick. I'm curious to get your thoughts on the Black Adam when you watch it next week. Let's go MCU. Let's start with the bad before we get to the good. There's a couple of things that are bad, but we'll mix them up. We talked about Blade last time anyway.
Yes.
And obviously the shit hit the fan with that movie, and God knows what's happening, whatever. And that's something we didn't even talk about. Was I didn't even think about it, was the repercussions it had with the rest of the slate. I didn't even think about that at all. And why now this delay has really fucked everything up for the next 2 years, because of the delay on Blade. They're delaying every other film that was going to come after it, unfortunately. So like we got Blade now coming out instead of November 3rd of 2023. It's September 6th of 24. It's almost a year, and I don't know if it even meets that deadline, to be honest with you.
I think it could.
It's possible. It depends, right? If they're doing a new script, that could take time. It depends when the new script is ready. I don't think they're going to rush a script just for the sake of getting it done, because then they end up back where they were now, right? I would make that assumption. Fantastic Four now got moved from November 8th, 2024 to February of 2025, so about 6 months gap. Deadpool only had a few months, from September to November on the same 2024. The Untitled Marvel movie, November 7th, 25 to February 14th, 25. Avengers Secret Wars from November 7th, 2025 to May 1st, 2026. That's kind of a big one. And the last Untitled ones moved back from... It was removed from the schedule. The last Untitled Marvel movie, which is slated to be May 1st, 2026. That's no longer on the slate. So it kind of leads me to believe, which is the problem when you have like this connectivities of one domino falls, it fucks everything up, right? But it's kind of curious to see that why would this matter if Blade was getting delayed, right? Like I don't understand how much connectivity you have.
I believe when we first talked about when they did the release in San Diego Comic-Con about the whole slate of what they're going to be doing, I think we said there's going to be a delay and it's going to push everything back 6 months. They just wanted you to know what's coming up, and then they're going to announce a thing that's going to cause a delay. I think we predicted this in our San Diego Comic-Con coverage.
Yeah, I don't remember how, but you're probably right on that sense. But and here it is. Here we go. And it's Blade's fault. I don't know why.
I don't think it's Blade's fault. I think it was going to be, and something was going to happen that was going to cause them to delay. Ultimately, they needed the delay because they wanted to push back Secret Wars a little bit back because they were going to have to. We were like, it is a pie in the sky idea to do 2 Avengers movies in 1 year. It's a lot. There's going to be something that's going to cause a delay and push it back to the. We called this from then. I mean, so whether it was Blade
just the movie itself would have been delayed, I would have figured not the entire slate be up. But I guess they pushed Blade and they wanted
to me. To me, we've talked about this where, especially after Thor: Love and Thunder, we're like, Feige needs to put more control on these projects.
Of course.
As much as he loves people doing, kind of like cutting loose so he can pull back, he realized if he gives people too much slack, it gets jumbled.
Yeah.
So he needed to step in and go, I need 6 months on all this to make it hit where I need it to hit. And so that's what he's doing. So Papa Feige put on his big boy pants and was like, no, I don't look, we're going to do this, but we're going to slow down a bit. Let's take our time. Let's wine and dine someone. It's called pre-production foreplay. Let's build this up. Let's make it feel sexy. And then we'll move forward. And that's what he's doing. And so to me, I'm actually really happy because I knew it was going to happen and I wanted this to happen because I don't want rushed product. Take your time. Give me the best Marvel songs.
Which is why I don't think it goes back to don't announce so much ahead of time, right? Just with dates and stuff. You want to announce what's coming out fair, right? But don't put dates on it because it's hard to. In 2 years, anything can happen, which we just obviously saw, right? Don't give us a date. Listen, you want to say a Fantastic Four movie is coming out? Fair enough. We know, great. Don't give us a date. Expectations are there, and because it looks bad when you start moving. It happens to DC all the time, right? Especially in the last couple of years. Don't give us dates. Just give us the movies. I don't need 5 years worth of content. Just give us what's coming up next year.
Listen, I like the dates. Small. I like dates, but don't marry yourself to it. You said around 2025.
Yeah, give us a year.
Somewhere in the fall. Like I'm cool with just seasonal.
That's fair.
Like the fall of 2025. Yeah, perfect.
Just
whatever happens, I'm good with
that. But you're right, because with Blade, and again, that's if Blade holds. We don't know that yet. I don't think they know either. I think they're just being wishful. It's wishful thinking. I don't know. A new script could take a while. I mean, they can't crack the right story. I don't know. Because that's 2 years. And the movie's been announced 2 years ago, and they still didn't get it right. Right?
Money in the Bank. I guarantee you that they're going to say within the next month and a half they locked in a script. Money in the Bank. I think they had an idea. Someone.
I think they're going to get the director first before they do that. I think the director might be involved in the script, to be honest with you.
I think they pitched a better story than the script they had. Said, screw it. Give us that script. We're burning the rest of this to the ground because we weren't that happy with it anyway. I think that's going to I bet you in a month and a half they're going to be announcing they've locked in a script. Guaranteed.
I don't know. I think they're locking the director first, then before the script. Because then the director can have some input on what's being put on paper, and they can have, a lot of directors write their own shit, so who knows? I think we'll get that first. But
by the way, I've been thinking about this. If you're going to do a Blade movie, get one of the directors from either John Wick or The Raid. Then you have yourself the great start to a movie.
Well, the Raid, no, because he likes some hard hitting stuff, and he's too mature for Blade. John Wick, he can tone it down. One of the guys, just to Jack Kaczynski.
There's two of them, right?
So I forget which one? Yeah, one of them did Deadpool 2, whatever, and the other one did a bunch of other stuff. But I would love that.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, you got to get one of these guys. That's what you got to go for.
Blade needs that. It really does. When we heard when they said the 2 action sequences, nonsense. It was nonsense for Blade.
You need at least 4, and of course, the 4th one has got to be. It doesn't have to be the longest, but it has to be the craziest. That's what it has to go.
Big. You need one at the beginning, a la what Blade 1 did, right? The original Blade. You got your third act one. We get it, and at least 2 or 3 in the middle. Don't that be big. It could be something small, but you need at least one decent one in the middle, and 2 other ones in there somewhere.
Or if you want to go throwbacky, you bring back Guillermo del Toro.
I would love that, but he's too stylized for Marvel.
Oh yeah, I know. But I'd say if you could,
I would love. Believe me, I would love it.
If you get anybody, you bring back Guillermo with that clout. Oh,
that'd be awesome. No, you're right. I would love that. I've never seen it happen. That would be great. But I doubt it's gonna happen. Yeah, especially if they're trying to relinquish control, right? Not just let Sam Raimi go, Taika go. I just don't see it happen. I don't see Guillermo playing in that sandbox. It would be amazing. Don't be wrong. I would love that for sure because he had it right. He did Blade right.
He had it
right, and now
with
the whole thing. Bigger budget and technology, it would be awesome, right? If he had that control. Next up here, stick with the MCU, and this is an interesting announcement. A lot of rumors, and it finally came to fruition. That's Harrison Ford joining the MCU, taking, of course, the late William Hurt's character, Thaddeus Ross. We'll see in Thunderbolts, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that's a very...
And Captain America 4.
Oh, Captain America 4, correct. Yeah, he'll be in both. So I think that's a great choice, man. He's got that grit that you think he would have. Harrison Ford, I mean, he's done everything but Marvel. You know what I'm saying? He is the icon of icons amongst the geek world. Let's be honest.
I mean, it's going to be weird to hear a Red Hulk say, Hulk says get off my lawn. But yeah, it's going to be really great to bring Han Solo into the mix.
I mean, listen, he needs to be CGI because he can't move around anymore. So
that's the only reason. That's the only reason he agreed to it. He's not going to wear the mocap suit. He's going to come in and they're going to take his face for 3 days in the studio. And he's like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Goodbye. He's going to get into the plane and crash it, walk away like the G. That's what he's going to do because he's Han Solo.
He's going to do his voiceover stuff after the fact, and that's it. But that's cool. That's kind of cool. Harrison Ford. I mean, this guy is, if it's like any actor as far as the geek world, he's the one, right? He's got 2 iconic.
Listen,
no one has more.
My thing is this: if you're gonna get Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, then you gotta get Mark Hamill in on something. So you got both of them together. You kind of gotta do it now. Funny. You kind of gotta. And if you're gonna do the intelligentsia, oh man, you could do the wizard, you could do the mad thinker, you could do Egghead. Like there's people you could bring in to have them do it, and it'd be great. It'd
be kind of
so.
Funny
I mean,
that would actually kind of be a nice wink.
That would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know.
Maybe like a little cameo or something. I'll buy that cameo just because it's Mark Hamill with Harrison. Absolutely. Anything else, I'm like you're pushing it. But I'll allow that. I'm okay with that. And I can see it.
Absolutely.
But that's a good choice. That's a great choice, man. Good for Harrison Ford, dude. He wants to get in the action,
listen, he barely does anything anymore because he's like $1 billion. So it makes sense. But you know what? He's awesome at everything he does. Like, say what you will about The Rise of Skywalker. When Harrison shows up, everyone smiles. Everyone smiles. The guy's awesome.
I mean, he had no fault in that movie. He's the last person you blame for those faults in any of those films, right? So whatever.
As cranky as he may get when he's like promoting movies, he knows what he's doing while in a movie. So yeah, and I kind of want to see him not give a crap while talking about the Marvel movie. So how's it feel to be the Hulk? Who cares? This is a thing. Great face. It's a thing. I bought a fit pool.
What is he? He's like 80 something? I don't know. He's old, man. He's up there, man. Good for him, though, man. Shit. We should all be so lucky, goddamn, man.
Absolutely.
Get that,
Absolutely.
Indiana Jones one, which I fear for that. I really do. I love me some Indy, but
time travel, baby. Time travel. It's gonna be time travel and sun doubles.
Well, listen, it can be worse than the last one, right? So, and to stay positive, it can be worse than the last one.
Yeah.
Well, it can, but I don't think it's not. I like James Mangold who's directing that, by the way. He's really good.
Yeah.
So I have confidence in that. So let's see. But, man, I almost don't want to talk about this. But I will.
Let's go.
Only because let's talk about this because finally, after 9 episodes, She-Hulk finally gave me the best episode of the season. Not because it's good, because it's garbage, it's trash, but because the show ended. The best episode of She-Hulk is.
I disagree. I had a fun throughout the whole show, and trash. I'm gonna say this. And I know you're going to talk your smack about it, but I'm going to say this. She-Hulk episode 9, best Marvel series ending out of all of them.
Wow.
Best ending out of every Marvel series. Hands down.
Awful.
From Disney Plus.
It was really bad.
Best Marvel Disney Plus ending. Absolutely.
I don't think we've ever been more opposite sides of the spectrum than we are on this, because this show it's so terrible. It's pointless.
It's great. I loved this show. It was everything I wanted it to be. I had so much fun.
Oh God, I think it's like three of you guys that I know, and you're one of them. So it's a terrible show. It's really bad.
It's great. It's a fun show.
It's gonna be long for Hawkeye, and that was a god awful ending to that show, and it's the bad show in general.
The Hawkeye, except for episode 3 of Hawkeye, the rest of it was really like me being, I believe in you. You're trying your best. See what you can make out there. She-Hulk just nailed every freaking time. And the thing is, I didn't take the show seriously, so I enjoyed everything about it. And they did so much for the Marvel U as a whole that I was having so much fun. I'm like, dude, this is great. I wanted a lighthearted, silly, fourth wall breaking. Everything's irrelevant. I got all of it. Like there was nothing that I was like, well, what about? I was like, people are like, oh, it didn't have a serious law thing like Daredevil. I was like, yeah, I didn't want that for She-Hulk. She happens to be a lawyer, but I wanted her character, not her job. Well, so I got it. I got everything I want.
Let's be fair. If you're gonna be a lawyer, at least be a good lawyer. At least that's all I'm
asking. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's
just really bad. It's just lazy. It's lazy. Listen, I get it. Don't make it a law show, but if you're gonna make it a law show, which they attempted to do, and it's in the title of their show, give her the credentials to be a competent attorney.
They should have hired at least 2 people from Law and Order to keep them on track.
Because man,
they should have had if you're gonna do She-Hulk attorney, like if they would have called it She-Hulk attorney at question mark, so you never knew what she was going to be attorney at law, for hire, fired, unemployed.
I will give you that.
Changing law,
yeah, absolutely.
That was
no doubt, 100%. Because that part was really bad. But yeah, I'm really glad it's over. I really am. I was begging the show to end, and it did.
I really like the show. I'm excited about what's gonna happen next. The Kevin thing. Well, I mean, when she came out of the Disney Plus loading menu, I was like, This is straight up John Byrne. Awesome. Like I was all about it. I was really excited.
Moving on. Let's talk about something that's actually good. Werewolf by Night.
That was a lot of fun.
That was
a lot of fun.
To me, the best thing Marvel's done on TV, which doesn't say a whole lot because the bar is really low. But to me, this was the best thing they've done on TV. And this should have been a series, and everything else should have been one episode. This is the only one that should have been a series. The only show they're giving us a series.
I disagree about it shouldn't be a series. I feel like it was great because it was one episode, one special. I think if they did a series,
there's no confidence in them. I'll give you that. I don't have confidence they could have made it into a series because they haven't done that in 9 shows. But this is a show I think they should have attempted at least to make into a series. They wouldn't have succeeded. I give you that. I would have liked if they had this special would have included, like, I would have liked to see this special first and have the special launch Moon Knight, just like the Werewolf by Night launch Moon Knight in the comics. I was going to say that. We cool Moon Knight was in this in some fashion. Right?
That I agree. I agree. Cool. Very much so.
Very much so. I was talking to somebody. We were talking. I was like, yeah, you're right. Moon Knight would have been really cool, and this.
It would have been real cool.
Yeah, it would have been. Real cool. Yeah, then launch into the show.
So that's the one thing I wish they would have done. I wish this would have come out first, and then the Moon Knight series immediately afterwards.
Maybe put Moon Knight in
and because that was a place. That would have been a great place to introduce Moon Knight and like his like superhero mercenary arc character, and then launch him with his own thing. And he still would have kept the episode more or less the same. Maybe would have added an extra 15-20 minutes to the show, but it would have been great just the way it is.
Really cool. But on its own, it's just what we saw. I thought I really liked it. It was a lot of fun, dude. Really well done.
I was surprised how much. They did they leaned into the gore by using the black and white as like
using black and white as that buffer to kind of get away with that.
Like when they cut up the dude's arm and he was bleeding all over the spot, or like when he turned into the werewolf and was killing the soldiers and the blood was spraying on the screen. Like all that stuff. I was like, this is cool. But I know you're getting away with it only because it's black and white, and you can't really see. Yeah,
which is fun. It worked for it. I don't want to see it all the time, obviously, from them, but at least they made that attempt. And I really wish Marvel would do more stuff like this, right? They're not setting up fucking anything here. It's just a standalone story, and they don't have the weight.
I mean, they set up a little bit about the monster side of the MCU,
but I mean,
a little bit,
but nothing we're gonna see anytime soon, right?
Right.
It's like. It's its own thing, right? It's not tied to She-Hulk, Go-Hawk, nothing, right? No stupid cameos. Give us a story, keep it simple. And they show how the weight of kind of maintaining the MCU, and I get it, right? But I like to see more stuff like this.
And I also like the fact that the Man-Thing wasn't 100% CG. They used his CG to enhance him, but you could tell there was like a prosthetic unit with it, and they made that work. To me, like. That was one thing that J.J. Abrams got right when he did The Force Awakens, which is not everything is CG. You do practical effects and the CG enhances it. That is the way to go because that makes all the CG so much better. Yeah. So, like, for the practical effects and the suits, just building around it was fantastic. CG on black and white, everything looks better because it looks so realistic because it's in black and white grading. Yeah. I love the fact that you can't. They not only leaned into the black and white of it all, but they even put cigarette burns on the upper right-hand corner to show real changes. Like I was like, all this was just fantastic, and all this was directed by like the composer.
I know. It was the art.
I was like, holy crap, this is great.
It really is, and I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do anything more. Cause I know, obviously, this is Urban. Was it like a small comic run? Was like a big deal. As far as
he had a small run in the 70s, and they brought him back intermittently in the 90s, a little bit into 2000s. He doesn't have a book right now, but he's like amazing. Just like Marvel has a Frankenstein and a Dracula. Werewolf by Night is the werewolf character of the MCU.
Gotcha. I would like to see it. I hope they do another one. You know, maybe they'll do like a Halloween thing every year. That'd be kind of cool. Something to look forward to. Different story involving that. That could work.
I want more one shots, and you can make the one shots. Tag into like different types of like seasons or holidays. Much like we're talking about like movies come out in the season. Right. Like, you know, you got Halloween, you could do this, you could do a Thanksgiving, you could do a 4th of July, you could do a Valentine's Day one, or you could do like a like a St. Patrick's Day. Like there's a lot of like different themes you can touch into. Independent, like President's Day. Like find things that are interesting and then make stuff around it, and you would have a really fun time. I think that's the way to go.
I wish they do more of this on, instead of giving us the series, which they're not always working, right? Let's be honest. But I want to see more of this on TV than the shows. Right, you know what I'm
saying? I do too. Like based off the strength and reception off of the special presentation, then you could do a 6-episode series based on like, oh, this one worked, this one not so much. So let's double down on that. I think it's a really smart way to go about it.
I don't need everything tied to the films. I don't care. It's nice that it is, but it's a lot to juggle when you're doing that. This gives us independent.
With the one shot, you don't have to. With a series, you kind of got it.
Well, it depends on the series, right? I mean, if they've done this as a series, it could have just been a series on this and just tied to nothing, right? Just its own independent stuff and whatever, right? 4-episode run, 5, whatever. But I want to see more stuff like this. I don't want to see these other series. It's just they're not hitting it right. It's just not. Save it for the films, right? Make those films better. We don't need this Marvel TV show. Put it in a movie and let's go. Fuck it. Give us something more independent. There's a lot of characters I'm sure they can do, right? And they can just pick off and pick and choose as obscure characters and give us a one shot, whatever.
I mean, there's a crap. There's literally a crap ton. So
there's a ton of them, right? And they don't have to worry about including in the MCU and the event. Whatever, just give us some cool stuff involving Marvel characters. That's what I wanted. I prefer to see it on the TV side. Like even like DC with Doom Patrol, right? Doom Patrol is his own thing. Yeah. It's its own thing. That's what I want to see, right? Peacemaker's tied in. Different story, but that really worked though. But still, they gave us some independent stuff. The Harley Quinn as independent, Swamp Thing. It was his own thing. It wasn't part of whatever. That's what I want. I thought Marvel was gonna do that initially, but let's see. I hope we get this. But this is really good. This is really good, man. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's really fun.
Especially, I'm gonna for Halloween. I'm gonna get myself a nice little Chinese takeout. I'm gonna get myself some drinks, and I'm gonna watch a bunch of horror movies. And Werewolf by Night is in my rotation. I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, definitely a must watch. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you guys are out of your mind. You guys should. It's really good. And with that being said, speaking of very, very good, Andor, of course, continues to hit out of the park. Am I wrong here?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, episode
series
7
gets better and better every time.
I'm telling you, it's good, better than Mando.
Every episode.
I'm almost to the point where I think it's better than Mando already. I'm very.
I told you they're the same. Tonally different, so it's like trying to say Iron Man versus Dark Knight, totally different, but they're both so good. To me, Mando is Iron Man, and Andor is Dark Knight, and it's like just really good.
Yeah, dude. The episode 6 was an action-packed one, which is the heist one.
Dude, the Eye, holy crap, that was such a good episode. So good. Like I'll tell you how good that episode is. It was like 11:45 at night. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this on and I'll fall asleep and I'll finish watching it tomorrow. Right. I could not go to sleep until that episode ended. I was like, oh, what? No, oh, we're going to make it. Come on. Like, it was like, I was in it, dude. It was so good. Really good. Yeah. And then having him kill that dude, the last rebellion guy who's trying to tell him to split the, I was like, flashes of Rogue One, and like that's how he learned it. This is where it's coming from right now. And then this week's episode where he's hiding out on a planet after he taking his 30K, and you see that's where he meets the HK droid. Mm-hmm. They eventually gonna rewire to team up with him. Like I was like, this is great. I'm in. Yeah, all this and so good.
And last episode was a lot of good conversations with the Senate with the. Mothra and the other guy, whatever, and they were talking.
Mothra, and the guy who hired him in the first place.
Scene that was
like this is making Mon Mothra such an interesting character, way more than I thought she would ever have.
I agreed. I mean, who knew, right? They're really fleshing her out, right? Giving her more than we really saw much of her anyway.
I just thought she had a soft spot for Bothans. Turns out this chick has been in it to win it for a minute. I was like, wow. Yeah, no, like, I will say this. I was telling my daughter's 13. I was telling my daughter, like, hey, you know what? You should really try watching Andor. It's really good. And she goes, Dad, do you know the story to Jack and the Beanstalk? Oh, and yeah. She goes, how does Jack get the beanstalk? I go, he trades a cow for some magic beans. And then the beans fall on the ground and goes to the beanstalk. She's like, does he climb the beanstalk? Oh, yeah. And he finds a magic castle full of gold and treasure. And she's like, does he take the treasure? Oh, yeah. He takes it and starts running down the beanstalk. She's like, does he make it away? And he's like, well, a giant starts following him. He starts coming around. She's like, does a giant kill him? I go, no, he cut the beanstalk and the beanstalk falls down and the giant dies. She goes, is that the whole story? I go, yeah. She's like, dude, who cares about what happens to the cow, Dad? That's why I'm not going to watch Andor. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know how the cow started a rebellion. And that is why Andor is awesome.
I mean, listen, I get it. I don't want to see this kind of show either. But like I said, they're executing it perfectly.
It's so good, though.
So
it's so
it is
good.
What it is. But no, it's I mean, it's such an adult show. It really is.
It really is.
And we talked about last time. I'll say it just doesn't feel like Star Wars in a good way. Or it's just Star Wars that we're used to, right? And it's just
absolutely.
It's like a dark drama. I could see. This is not for kids. I don't even. Did your son watch it? No?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I wanted her to watch it when it was first airing.
Right.
Now that I'm episode 6 or 7, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You don't need to watch this. Okay. This is a dad show.
It really is. It's an adult show. It really is an adult drama show.
Absolutely.
With Star Wars in it. Fine. But that's working, man. I'm telling you, I think on the trajectory it's going, this is going to end up being better. Like, just objectively whatever than Mandalorian. And I love Mandalorian. I really do.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be better. I think it's going to be equal to Mandalorian, just tonally.
I mean, it depends how it ends, right? I mean, it could end so good. I mean, we still got another 5 episodes, right? I think it's 12 total.
No. Well, yes, because it's 6, 7, 4, 5. Yeah, 12 episodes total. So 5 more episodes to go.
So, man, it's a good 5 weeks we got ahead of us because, man, it's really good.
Who would have thought that Andor would be the cap that puts us to bed well in for 2023? Like, out of everything that's coming through, Andor is the one that's just coming out swinging. Like, we thought that Doctor Strange was going to be monumental. It was okay. We thought Love and Thunder was going to break the world. It was okay. We hope Black Adam will be decent. It was kind of right. But Andor just coming in and going, this is how you do a thing. It's crazy.
This is easily the best show on Disney Plus right now. Like,
hands
down by far. But anything Marvel's done is far superior than any of the Marvel shows by far.
I give credit's due. Absolutely.
It's good. God, well done, dude. Just well done. I can't wait to see how the thing wraps up and all that. I know. Thank God they're doing season 2 already and they're filming that and all that because with the plan for 3 seasons, right? I think is what it was. 2
seasons.
But I thought they're doing 3. No, is it just 2?
No, 2 seasons, okay. 12 episodes each.
Oh, well, fair enough. Damn, that sucks. I mean, we kind of know how it's going to end to some degree, I guess.
Rogue One.
But whatever.
I'm
sure it's going to lead us to Rogue One. Whatever. I don't know what the timeline is with him. I didn't know how much time between now and Rogue One. To be honest with you, I don't know.
I have
no idea. Like,
the first episode says that it's 5 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So it's 5 years before A New Hope.
Okay, 5 years. All right.
And so if Rogue One starts at the beginning of New Hope, that means you probably have season 1 is like 5 years, and then season 2 is maybe like 3 years. 2 years. Sure and then Rogue One is like a month before.
It's gonna be a time jump in there somewhere. I would make that assumption.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
they talked about it where maybe it was season 2, but I thought I heard they were talking about, they're doing 3 episode blocks and after every 3 episodes it's a time jump or something. That's what I thought I heard.
It hasn't happened yet.
No,
so far,
the second season perhaps.
Canonically,
right now. I think next season or something like that. I thought I read that somewhere. Maybe wrong, but that's what I thought I read. But whatever.
It may have been an initial idea, but not something they stuck with.
Otherwise, they're hitting out of the park. It was so good. And I never. Who would have thought this was a show? This is the least one I thought. Obi-Wan, whatever. Boba Fett. I can't wait. Boba Fett. Good kudos, man. Kathleen Kennedy. You gotta give credit where credit's due. She gets the credit. I'm fair.
She's got Force Awakens, Mandalorian, and Andor. Yeah. Out of like 9 projects, 3 have hit.
She's not batting. The batting average is that's batting 300. I guess it's not.
To be fair, if this was baseball, she would qualify for baseball.
She's all-star, but let's not give her that much credit.
She would qualify for like a wild card game to go into the playoffs.
Credit, but you're objectivity broker here on the show, and I want to stay objective. I want to give her credit where credit's due. This is under her watch. When it's bad, she gets the blame. When it's good, you got to give her credit. I want to be fair. I can't take it away from her. How much involvement she had, it doesn't matter. It is what, like we can't fight. It's good, it's him. It's bad, it's him. This is how it works. He's the boss, right?
That's it.
It is to take the heat. But yeah, I'm looking forward to talking more about that. And them is the Nuggets for the week.
Guys, that has been the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys always coming to watch it. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this episode. The more likes and subscribes you do, the better it is for us. We can do more shows, make more money. We appreciate all that as well. Don't forget to follow us on the social medias. You can follow us on Instagram at NerdsplainingPod. You can follow us on Twitter at Nerdsplaining_. If you want to hear the original audio episodes, you can go to ericdasilva.com, ERICDASILVA. All the original audio episodes are there. And while you're there, don't forget to buy my comedy album, Adorably Offensive. If you like this show, you can watch all the shows on the Latin Nerd Network on this YouTube channel, including the watch list where Jose and Chewy talk about all the TV shows that are out there and all the services. They give you the reviews on the weekly breakdowns of that as well. And of course, you can see Thanos' Choice. And we have other shows and projects coming out like Danger Squad, the Kickstarter I have coming out right now. Link below and on our social media bio as well. Don't forget to donate. I appreciate all the help out there. This is going to be a really cool project, and hopefully I can review some extra things to the weeks coming up so I can show you all the stuff, why it's going to be awesome. So please don't forget to donate and share with other people that you think would like this project as well. I'd really appreciate it. And guys, that has been the show. I have been Eric Da Silva. This has been Jose Romero. We have been Nerdsplaining. If you don't know, now you know. Boom.